From Cardinal O'Hara High School in Springfield, Pennsylvania, we welcome you into Game 2 of our doubleheader coverage today of the Philly North Jersey Challenge. It'll be West Catholic taking on Paramus Catholic here at Cardinal O'Hara. It was an exciting Game 1. We expect to see the same here in Game number 2 today. West Catholic comes in off a heartbreaking loss, though, Week 1. They fell 15-14 to Pottsgrove, giving up all 15 points in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah, it was a very tough loss, especially going in. Coach Brian Fluck really thought this was a season with high expectations. They've got a good amount of roster continuity. They've got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Outside of their special teams, there's not too much he's concerned about. They're hoping that this will be a successful season, but with the rain, turnovers are a concern. He expressed that to us earlier in the week. Taking care of the ball is something he constantly stresses to his players. And it's pouring outside, so that's not going to go so well.
It certainly is. It's been raining a lot today. By the way, that's Moshe Kravitz. I'm Joe Vasile. Paramus Catholic, they come in with a new head coach. It's their fourth head coach in the last 4 years, Dan Sabella, who led the Paladins to the 2016 New Jersey State Championship, has left for Ridgefield Park High School. John Whitehead is back. He coached the program from 2004 to 2007, and he's tasked with rebuilding the Paladins back into their state championship power that they were not too long ago.
Yeah, and there's also just a ton of turnover on this roster. You add in a new old head coach in John Whitehead, and only 3 starters returned from last year's squad for Paramus Catholic. That is tough to come back from. They do still have a lot of expectations. Paramus Catholic traditionally is a powerhouse school in North Jersey. They really want to build this program back up. But Coach John Whitehead told us that he feels that this, despite how new this team is, that there's a lot of camaraderie among his players. The players weren't even successful at the freshman or JV levels, but he thinks that they can finally step up and take this school back to where it once was. He's got high hopes. We'll see how it goes today against a very tough West Catholic team.
West Catholic looking for its first win. Paramus Catholic in its first game of the season. That's coming up next on SFBN.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Bluestein, Michael & Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Bluestein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Bluestein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Well, the rain has been turning itself on and off here in Springfield, Pennsylvania at Cardinal O'Hara High School. Alongside Moshe Kravitz, Joe Vasile here with you on SFBN as we are just about set for West Catholic and Paramus Catholic. Moshe, what are your keys here for this game?
All right, for West Catholic, it starts off with taking care of the ball. It's something that their coach stressed to us earlier in the week, and that's going to be especially difficult because it is wet, windy, and rainy outside. Take care of the ball. You keep the ball for long, drawn-out possessions. You grind this kind of a game out. That's what you do when it rains when you're playing football. That also results in controlling field position. If you do end up punting, you punt it deep. You try and pin Paramus in their own end. And last but not least is discipline on defense. No stupid penalties. Keeping with your man, sticking to your assignments. For Paramus Catholic, their vertical passing game has to get going. It is one of their keys to the offense, far and away. It really opens up the rest of their game plan. They are fast and physical on both sides of the ball. They want to dictate that early and often. And last but not least, Paramus Catholic, under Coach John Whitehead, has only 3 returning starters, all on the offensive line. Coach Whitehead told us earlier this week, Rome wasn't built in a day. This game is a game of progress for Coach Whitehead and the Paladins, showing that they are a cohesive unit. They're starting to gain some discipline. They know how to work together and play Paramus Catholic football.
Opening kickoff returned by Jasim Brooks out to the 32-yard line. There was a fumble. Paramus Catholic fell on it. And so here comes drive number 1 of the John Whitehead era, part 2 for Paramus Catholic. He was the head coach of the Paladins from 2004 to 2007. Now returned here, trying to rebuild this program into the championship caliber one it was just 2 years ago. Dorian Noel, the quarterback, takes the snap handoff on the first play of the game across the 35-yard line up to about the 40. Solid gain on the ground. Tyshawn Brinson, lead tailback for Paramus Catholic, had the rush.
And so, as I said, 3 members of their offensive line are the only returning starters on either side of the ball for Paramus Catholic. Center Christian Mahogany, left tackle Zach Hartman, and right guard Jose Diaz. That's a big and very talented offensive front that Paramus Catholic has to work with.
Paramus Catholic in the white jerseys. They keep it on the ground with Brinson again, who picks up a first down out towards midfield. Tyshawn Brinson, couple of strong rushes to get things going for the Paladins.
And the second straight run that they go right behind Mahogany and Diaz, that right side of the offensive line. So far, Paramus Catholic dictating play in the trenches.
And it is a monster offensive line for the Paladins. Smallest guy is Zach Hartman at 6'2", 260. Keep it on the ground this time. It's Jasim Brooks. Coming up about a yard shy of a first down, 9-yard rush on the sweep.
And even though he went off the left side, you saw center Christian Mahogany looking a bit like Jason Kelsey, flying out to the second level to try and block for his running back.
Mahogany, 6'4", 290 pounds. Jose Diaz to his right, 6'4", 290. Devin Willick, the right tackle, 6'6", 315.
Tyshawn Brinson, one of the guys that's impressed the coaches so far.
Back to pass. Knoll, with the flags flying, just unleashes a pass that doesn't quite make it back to the line of scrimmage, but we'll check the penalty flag in the backfield. And it's going to be against Paramus Catholic.
So we mentioned Coach John Whitehead. He primarily actually calls the defense. Obviously, he does control the entire program. Paramus Catholic actually now has running their offense a former foe of theirs, in former Don Bosco and former Rutgers quarterback Gary Nova. He is the new offensive coordinator from Paramus Catholic. And apparently the players really like the drills that he runs a lot. He makes it a lot of fun. And they get out there, they run a lot. They call it the Nova Twitch, the way that he runs their practices for the offense.
And they add an intentional grounding penalty on against Paramus Catholic as well, so they'll lose the down as well. As the pass from Dorian Noel didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage, they determined he was within the tackle box and nobody was in range. 10 yards of that ball. So Penalty flags abound will push Paramus Catholic back. Not necessarily the flawless football they wanted to play today. So from 2nd and 1, now they'll face a 3rd and we'll call it close to 20. We'll say 19. They're on the 41-yard line. They need to get over to the West Catholic 40.
And Coach Whitehead told us this is a fast and physical team. He wants them to play that way, but he understands they make a lot of mistakes because they are young. The freshmen and JV teams hadn't won more than 4 games in the last 3 years for Paramus Catholic. He's not expecting too much. The program as a whole is a storied program, but he's not expecting that much with so much turnover this season.
Noel under pressure fires a pass, incomplete.
So the offensive line showing us positive signs in the run game, not doing a great job in pass defense so far.
Applying the pressure was Zymene Howell, number 33 for West Catholic. Fourth down and 19 for the Paladins, and they will come out in a punting formation for the first time. Jared George, also a linebacker for the team, does the punting for the Paladins. 2 players back to return for West Catholic. One is Troy Athill. It's number 10. Kind of a short punt that checks up once just outside the 30 and then is downed inside the 25-yard line. Not a bad punt. But Paramus Catholic has to punt on their first possession of the game. West Catholic will see their offense on the field for the first time.
It's interesting seeing Athill back to receive the punt. Athill is primarily a linebacker safety hybrid, which you're seeing a lot more nowadays in multiple levels of football. He plays a lot up in the box, some in the defensive backfield, but they like him as that bigger type of safety that can help bring an extra body into the front 7.
Quarterback for West Catholic, Zaire Hurt Hawkins, wearing number 7, a lengthy 6-footer. 2 in the backfield, a handoff on first down. This is Jasir Savoy. Across the 30-yard line, running hard before he's met and taken down by Jasim Brooks.
And Savoy was described to us by head coach Brian Fluck as more of an every down 1,000-yard back. He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year, very versatile, and they got to pair that with Zahir Booker, who's a really good power back.
Hurt Hawkins nearly fumbled the ball off the fake, lost about a yard trying to take it to the outside, so it'll be 3rd and short, about 2 yards to go for the Burrs.
And you mentioned the length of Hurt Hawkins. That was one of the things before the game that I noticed. We're watching him toss around with one of his wide receivers. This kid is lanky, like Kevin Durant long arms.
From the shotgun, they give to Savoy through the tackles and a first down for Jasir Savoy across the 40-yard line.
And Savoy really is a dynamic running back. Saw the hole well and just exploded through. He can go to the edge, he can go in the middle. And then when they need to, they give him a break with Zahir Booker, who also plays that linebacker hybrid, safety hybrid role for the defense of West Catholic.
Man moves in motion. That's Seth Degree, a senior wide receiver. Keep it on the ground again on 1st and 10. Pick up a couple. That time it was Zahir Booker, who's more of a short yardage back, who's more physical for West Catholic.
Yeah, very much a power back, and you can guess that by the fact that he's a similar linebacker safety hybrid to Troy Athill.
Shotgun 2 backs formation. Hurt Hawkins looking to pass under a ton of pressure. Ball's tipped up into the air and caught by one of the offensive linemen. Kajay Frazier, the senior, came down with a tip ball.
Flags on each side of the play.
Penalty flags on the play.
Unless I'm mistaken, he was not an eligible receiver.
He was not. Hurt Hawkins could have completed the pass to himself, but cannot complete a pass to an offensive lineman. Learned that one the hard way in my playing days.
Hurt Hawkins did begin to play as a quarterback, rotated in toward the end of last season, but he was not the starter last year. This is his first season as the starter. He's shown that he has a strong arm, pretty good field vision, pretty mature, but he's still pretty raw. He's working out the kinks. he's not as good of a passer on the move. This offensive line needs to give him more protection.
Paramus Catholic, we mentioned the size of their offensive line. Same said for their defensive line. A lot of them the same personnel. They're big, they're physical. That's the style of football that Paramus Catholic likes to play in the trenches.
Yeah, Christian Mahogany, one of those big men right in the middle there. He will burst through the offensive line, pushing back 2 guys.
Keeper for Hurt Hawkins tries to reverse cause, but he got swarmed. Bringing him down for the Paladins was Miles Mitchell. 4th down and long coming up for West Catholic, and they will bring out the punting unit. And Trey Johnson, who's a tight end, kind of do-it-all man for the Burrs.
Yeah, defensively, he plays on the outside. He covers and rushes off the edge. He's their kicker and their punter. You spoke to Coach Brian Fluck, who told you to not expect a field goal attempt. They've been having some issues with the snap hold. Not quite as bad with the punts, though.
Yeah, Johnson, it's not his leg that's the issue, as you can see right there. As that punt rolls all the way down to the 10-yard line. Paramus Catholic will start its second possession. Both teams feeling each other out in the early going. They each picked up a first down, and they each have punted at the end of their first drive. So now as we see Paramus Catholic come out for its second offensive possession, what do you want to see out of the Paladins here to maybe take away off that first drive? They had some success in keeping the ball on the ground with Tyshawn Brinson early, but then when they went to the air, a little bit less success.
Yeah, I'd like to see them continue to keep it on the ground with Tyshawn Brinson, especially with that, with the strong running game and the great run blocking from their big offensive line. That way they can eventually set up strong play action, zone read style plays, get Noel on the move and take some of the pressure off the offensive line in pass blocking.
Dorian Noel out of the shotgun for Paramus Catholic. Long count as they'll look to pass on first down. He airs it out deep over the middle of the field. He has a man open, but he overthrew him. Not able to get to the spot for Paramus Catholic. Incomplete. Thank you for joining us here on this Saturday. We'll call it late afternoon.
It's Friday.
Oh my goodness. It feels like Saturday. So we're watching football. Beautiful play by Brinson. There he goes down the sideline, and forget it. Tyshawn Brinson for 6, and Paramus Catholic takes a 6-0 lead.
And that could end up being the deciding play of the game if the offenses continue the way they had been up till this point. Brinson throws a bruising shoulder to a couple of defenders, breaks through a ginormous tackle, and just streaks down the sideline. Nobody was catching him after he broke that tackle.
71 yards for Tyshawn Brinson. Physical running from the senior, and be counted on to be a big part of this offense this year. So now on for the extra point. Josh Zamora does the kicking for Paramus Catholic. He will stay on the sidelines as the Paladins will go for 2. Shotgun set. Takes the snap. Handoff. Brinson. He could have crawled into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good, and Paramus Catholic leads it 8-0.
Paramus 8, West Catholic 0.
So an 8-0 lead for the Paramus Catholic Paladins, as we were waiting for somebody to show something on offense, and it was Paramus Catholic who did it first. 71 yards from Tyshawn Brinson.
And it wasn't even necessarily all of Paramus Catholic. It was Tyshawn Brinson breaking through that tackle, streaking down the sideline. The running back showed a lot of power on that run. And we knew that West Catholic was not going to be attempting field goals or extra points after a botched snap hold resulted in a missed extra point last week that could have meant a tie game at 15-all. But it also shows us Paramus Catholic in this wet weather is not going to mess around with field goals and extra points. Especially now with the wobbly and short punts that we've seen so far today.
So the ball teed up. Hopefully it'll stay there with all this wind. We saw a ball roll off the tees in game 1. West Catholic will take it off the kick from Josh Zamora. Onside attempt. Ball loose as there was a huge hit. Flags flew. As soon as that hit was made, we'll see what the laundry's about.
I'm not exactly sure what the call will be, but I guess it has something to do with the fact that the the Paramus Catholic player went for the body as opposed to the ball on that big hit. He didn't even make an effort to show that he was trying to attack the ball. He was just trying to stop the West Catholic guy on their hands team. Actually, they didn't have their hands team out. Just the West Catholic player from coming up with the ball. Bold move, though, going for the onside kick. Coach John Whitehead and offensive coordinator Gary Nova probably thinking one more score could put the nail in the coffin this early.
They throw another flag out on the field all the way back at about the 38-yard line. I think they were just trying to get it to the 40. This was a long-range toss. An illegal procedure and offsides against Paramus Catholic. Both coaches getting explanations. Ryan
Maybe
Fluck for West Catholic.
One of the men on the kicking unit might have started to move before the kicker there.
Paramus Catholic went off sides. It's a dead ball penalty. 10:34 left to go in the second quarter. An 8-0 lead for Paramus Catholic. And we'll get things sorted out here after the onside kick that wasn't, and we'll kick it again. This time from 5 yards further back. And
of course, we will need the Paramus Catholic kickoff team in order to make this new kickoff happen.
yeah, they do need to get on the field at some point as they break the huddle.
Okay.
You almost wonder what was getting drawn up in that huddle. Obviously, you're not going to, you would think, you're not going to catch West Catholic napping with another onside kick here in the second quarter up by 8.
They don't appear to have any sort of specific hands team out. They might have subbed in a wide receiver or two, though, just to shore it up just in case.
It'd be something else if Paramus Catholic tried that.
You're already pushed back. I say you kick it off. Don't give them any more yards than you already have.
Josh Zamora has it teed up once again. And he will have a normal kickoff that sails over everyone's head, rolls down close to the 5. It stays in bounds and is picked up all the way back at the 2-yard line by Jasir Savoy, and he gets swallowed up almost immediately inside the 5-yard line. Savoy was trying to take a risk that ball was going to roll out of bounds, and it just hugged the sideline and stayed in. And a costly mistake for Jasir Savoy pins West Catholic in deep.
And he was inches away from making a very smart veteran play. The senior, Savoy, waiting, thinking that football was going to bounce out. But it's a football. It's an oblong shape. It does not bounce normally. He took a risk, and it did not pay off. Coach Fluck cannot be happy about that.
That is a nice SAT word there, oblong.
Football's not exactly a normal shape.
No, you're absolutely right. That was a very good.
If you drop a football from any height and try and guess which direction it's going to bounce, you're going to be wrong.
10 times out of 10. Handoff on first down, gains a couple. Little bit of space to operate now for West Catholic in the shadow of their own end zone.
Savoy on the carry.
Yeah, that's why you don't see the drop kick anymore. Football used to be a little more rounder, so you'd see that more often, and now you just don't. And Doug Flutie does it once every 20 years, and that's about it.
People could always watch some rugby instead. I wouldn't recommend it because I love football, but that's just me.
On the ground, Zahir Booker had nowhere to go. And it's 3rd down and long for West Catholic. Very quickly, 2 plays. Tried to run it up the gut both times, and they've had no success in between the tackles so far. It's been when Savoy has gotten to the outside that the running game has opened up for West Catholic.
Yeah, a couple stretch plays, a couple off-tackle runs for Savoy. Zahir Booker so far, not really with much room to run. What you're trying to do there when you're pinned back is just create enough room so that there's less of a chance of your quarterback, in this case Zaire Hurt-Hawkins, potentially throwing with his foot in the back of the end zone.
Under center, they pitch it for Savoy. He gets to the edge, picks up a first down and more. There goes Jasir Savoy up the sideline, getting flagged down from behind across midfield. Jasir Savoy.
And Christian Abraham comes flying down the sideline after him, makes a great tackle from behind. Very safe tackle, too. You like to see that after we had a couple horse collar tackles in our first game. But, man, the speed of Jasir Savoy finding that edge, turning a corner, and just bolting down the sideline.
Pickup of almost 60 yards for Jasir Savoy, setting up West Catholic with a 1st and 10 from the 32. Savoy off to the sidelines to catch a breather. They keep it to Booker on the ground, and he is eaten alive in the backfield. Getting there first, Christian Mahogany.
And we talked about Mahogany earlier, as now the even bigger Devin Willock takes Mahogany's place. These two are the shorter of the two. Mahogany is 6'4". They're both over at least 250 pounds, if not more. Willock at 315. These are big guys, normally offensive linemen. They're also playing on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to give Booker a very tough day.
Hurt-Hawkins fires it deep, but no one was home. Getting turned around was Carl Smith, the wide receiver.
And Smith was just not ready for that pass. He wasn't yet totally looking for the ball. He was just trying to make a move on the defenders. But Hurt-Hawkins, lots of pressure in his face right away. His offensive line let him down there. He just had to get the ball out and made the right call just getting rid of it.
3rd down and 15 for West Catholic. Ball on the 37-yard line. Hurt-Hawkins sets up. He's got 3 receivers to the tight side of the field on the left. Single coverage on the far side. Takes the snap. Steps up. Setting up a screen, and Jasir Savoy can't make the catch. Boy, Paramus Catholic bit. And West Catholic had that screen set up very well. They had the blockers ahead of Savoy, but he just couldn't reel in the pass as it was a little too tall for him. 4th and 15 from no man's land for West Catholic. They'll keep the offense on the field and try to go for it.
But even at 6 foot, Hurt-Hawkins is going to have a very hard time throwing over the 6'3" Michael Entwistle and the 6'4" Christian Mahogany, who were just coming right at him, hands in his face. He had no room to look for his receiver.
Deep down the sideline for Degree. Caught at the 5.
Oh.
Seth Degree to his knees. Reeled it in down at the 5-yard line, and a huge 4th down conversion for West Catholic.
Fantastic job by Seth Degree. Recognizes that it's a teeny bit underthrown and he's streaking towards the end zone. Adjusts to the ball. The defender goes down. He starts to lose his footing a bit. Sticks with it. Makes the catch and secures it before he goes to the ground.
Zaire Hurt-Hawkins off the dime delivery to Seth Degree. 1st and goal for West Catholic. That's Savoy in the backfield. They give it on a sweep to Carl Smith. Turned it up the field, couple of flags down. Gain of a couple for Carl Smith. We'll check the flags.
Most likely holding. Looked like on the left side of that offensive line there was a hold or two.
Call officially an illegal formation against West Catholic.
Either way, I'm pretty sure the left guard there got a hand on one of the defensive linemen for Paramus.
1st down and 10. Goal to go. Hurt-Hawkins and another flag.
Start.
That blows the play dead, and West Catholic continuing to move backwards. They have shot themselves in the foot with just penalties so far here today.
It looked like the slot receiver might have jumped a bit early there.
So 1st and goal coming up for West Catholic from the 15-yard line. That's the bad news. The good news is that it's still just 1st down. They've got a couple of cracks to pick up 15 yards, but certainly not nearly as good as 1st and goal from the 5. But a little bit more throwing room, at least, for Zaire Hurt-Hawkins. Less traffic down underneath in the red zone.
I think they would take a play from the 3-yard line instead of more room to throw.
Too high for Carl Smith. Second and goal from the 15.
It is very difficult for Hurt Hawkins to throw over this massive defensive line for Paramus Catholic. When Mahogany, Willick, and Entwistle put their hands up, and Hartman too, if they're on the defensive line, they're putting their hands up, that's potentially over 8 feet of space blocked in the throwing lanes for Hurt Hawkins. It's very difficult for a high school quarterback to throw over that kind of height.
Yeah, you hear about wingspan in basketball all the time, but it's so huge in football down in the trenches as well. Smith in motion. Hawkins, the snap. Get it to Degree on a screen. Makes a move to the outside. Seth Degree back inside the 5-yard line. He picks up the penalty yardage back, but third down and goal facing West Catholic.
Degree happens to know that patch of turf very intimately, as he just caught a big-time pass a few plays earlier right there.
Third and goal from the 5-yard line for the West Catholic Burrs. See what they draw up here in this situation. 3 receivers to the right side. Checking in, Justino Griggs is the split man far to the right. Degree all alone to the left. Hurt Hawkins takes it. They give to Savoy. He goes backwards. Tossed down to the turf.
Savoy on the carry, loss of 2. Brings up 4th down and goal.
4th down and goal. Offense staying on for West Catholic in 4-down territory, trailing 8-0 in quarter number 2.
You can already tell both coaches know that points are going to be hard to come by in this game, not just because of the weather, but also because of the strong defenses on both sides. They just want points to keep this game close. Try and go into the half with a tie.
Starts.
This was an issue we thought we'd see more with Paramus Catholic and all of the turnover. West Catholic instead. A lot of undisciplined moments so far.
Brian Fluck, when we were talking with him earlier in the week, said, look, he expects to compete for Catholic League title this year, and kind of on the long game, he's like, look, we know we're in the same division as Southern Columbia, and that's kind of who they're looking ahead to, but 0-1 start, trailing to Paramus Catholic here. Into the end zone, incomplete, intended for Seth Degree. There was coverage all around. Ball a little bit too high for him anyway. And a turnover on downs.
There could have been a flag for pass interference there as one of the defensive backs, without turning his head, got his hands on the wide receiver. It was a bit of a ticky-tack call. I'm perfectly fine with the ref not calling it. Could have gone either way.
So West Catholic on their first 4 possessions today, 3 punts and a turnover on downs. Down at the 12 is penalties and losses of yardage just really hurting the Burrs here on offense so far. Paramus Catholic was able to overcome it, but the way that they overcame it was with a 71-yard touchdown run from Tyshawn Brinson. It wasn't even a sustained drive. It was Brinson doing a lot of the work himself and bouncing off a couple tackles. And so really the Paladins haven't been able to sustain anything offensively so far in this game, and that's got to be something that John Whitehead kind of keeps at the front of his mind as this drive starts here with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Shotgun set, Dorian Noel. Give on the ground on first down. Pick up of a few yards, maybe a gain of 2.
Gain of 3 yards. 2nd and 7.
Bring up second down, and they'll call it 7 with a generous spot up to the 15-yard line.
If the coach if offensive coordinator Gary Nova, Coach John Whitehead keep needing Noel to go back and forth all the way over to the sidelines to get the plays, he's going to be tired out pretty soon. They've got to get that kid a play wristband there.
Noel. Too much time. Delay of game against Paramus Catholic.
And that's what's going to happen when you need your quarterback to be running from the middle of the field to your sideline on every single play. You're going to get some delay of game calls.
Second down and 12.
Second down and 12 coming up for the Paramus Catholic Paladins. After the delay of game penalty, the lineup same formation. All likelihood will run the same play. Teasing blitz is West Catholic, and they bring it. Airing it out down the sideline. Incomplete. And a flag flies in for pass interference.
Penalty flag on the play.
Getting tripped up over on the far side, it was Andy Ambrios.
If they're going to call pass interference there, would have liked to have seen it in the end zone. Yes, there was some contact. It was more the West Catholic defensive back fell first, happened to glance off the heels of the Paramus Catholic wide receiver. If he had kept his footing, he could have brought that one in possibly just out of his reach.
Inside 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter, an 8-0 lead for Paramus Catholic. Of course, not a spot foul here at the high school level. So first down and 10 from the 25-yard line for Paramus Catholic.
They're looking a bit slow with the sticks on that far sideline there.
4:59 left on a stop clock. As Paramus Catholic breaks the huddle. PC looking to get things going strong this season in their first game. Of course, New Jersey just started its high school football this week. Last night were its first games. To keep it on the ground, Brinson wrapped up and chucked down to the turf across the 30-yard line.
Brinson on the carry.
Looked like it was William Tallington in on the stop one more time. Second down and 2 coming up for Paramus Catholic. We've mentioned John Whitehead, fourth head coach for the senior class here at Paramus Catholic. In fact, since 2014, there have been 5 coaches. There's one coach who's there. He left to go to Michigan. Blake Costanzo then took over. He left before the season started in 2014. Brinson, again, up the middle. And he gets tripped up by Troy Athill. Athill, the last man who could make the tackle for West Catholic, able to drag him down. Brinson nearly broke another one.
There's Athill, that linebacker safety hybrid. He plays up in the box slot. He does play at in the second and third levels as well. He's a tough guy to get past. He knows how to stick with tight ends and halfbacks. That's a dynamic kind of player that you really need in today's football.
First down and 10 from the 41-yard line for Paramus Catholic. Blake Costanzo was there. He left to continue his NFL career before 2014 started. He was replaced by John Westervelt, who was there in 2014 and 2015. Then Dan Sabella came over from Paramus High School. He was there for 2 years, won a state championship. And after a controversy-laden 2017, Sabella left for Richfield Park High School, and John Whitehead came back as we have another delay of game penalty against Paramus Catholic.
5-yard penalty, first and 15.
Whitehead has been a member of the faculty at Paramus Catholic for over 20 years, has been an offensive coordinator, then head coach, then just an English teacher.
That's one of the things that he was hoping would help this team as it enters a new era with a lot of new personnel, is the fact that some of these juniors and seniors had seen him in the halls before. They were familiar with him. They could learn to trust him more quickly.
First and 15 for Paramus Catholic from the 46. Taking a lot of time after a delay of game penalty. Now Noel rolls to the left. Fires, intercepted.
Bad decision there by Noel. Makes a very awkward throw. That's just ill-advised in that kind of situation. You want to just throw that out of bounds when you're almost out of bounds yourself, not force it into a very tight window. And you just could just tell he's not used to having to turn his body back. He was running to his weak side there, throwing across his body. It's just not the kind of football you want to see as someone's down on the far side of the field there.
Paramus Catholic player is down, being attended to by the trainer.
Looks like it might be one of the offensive linemen. Paramus Catholic already taking a knee. We have not seen any movement out of this player.
Take a step aside here with the injury timeout. With 3:33 left to go in the second, it's Paramus Catholic 8, West Catholic nothing. Back at Cardinal O'Hara, Christian Mahogany up and off the field for Paramus Catholic. Hopefully he'll return soon. After the interception from Shakur Smalls, pass goes incomplete to the far side. Out of the hands of Zaire Hurt Hawkins.
Hawkins pass is incomplete.
Second down and 10 coming up for West Catholic. They trail 8-0 as they've punted thrice and turned the ball over on downs once.
And now Noel giving up the ball. His accuracy has been a bit suspect so far this game and just made a really bad decision there.
On the ground, West Catholic gains a yard, if that much. Jasir Savoy didn't have much room to operate in between the tackles, as almost feeling like a broken record saying that, as Paramus Catholic is just, they've controlled the interior. But again, Savoy, when he's gotten to the outside, has had a lot of success, ripped off a 60-yard run on a pitch play. And you understand, obviously, West Catholic, you want to establish that and keep driving at the game plan, and eventually it will open up. Hurt Hawkins fires to the near side, incomplete, intended for Carl Smith, who had it hit his hands and fall to the turf.
And you immediately know that Carl Smith wants that back. Those are the kinds of the mistakes that you can't make in a tight, gritty game like this. Carl Smith still trying to walk off that drop pass. But you were talking about the defensive line play and how there's nothing going in the tackles for West Catholic. If you just lined up the measurables of the two lines, defensive line for Paramus Catholic, offensive line for West Catholic, this is what you'd expect. Paramus Catholic just got immense pressure on Zahir Hurt Hawkins with a three-man rush.
Fourth down and long, a punt coming. It hops once, touch, that's a live ball. Still loose. West Catholic seems to fall near it. Do they have it, though?
Paramus Catholic came up with it, though. Yep.
No, nearly a huge mistake for Paramus Catholic, but able to fall in it after Ivan Brito Jr. muffed the punt. The ball was live, and player for West Catholic was nearly there was Niceer Ford, but ball just ping-ponged out of his hands.
Ford tried to fall on it, and it looks like it just squirted out and right into the waiting arms of a Paramus Catholic player.
Sixth offensive drive of the first half for Paramus Catholic, but 2:34 remaining. So West Catholic goes 3 and out after the interception. But they nearly got the ball back off a mistake.
It was all in the game plan. They wanted that to happen.
Just like they drew it up. Noel on a jet sweep on first down. Still on his feet.
And that's what you call gang tackling.
Jasim Brooks just refused to hit the turf before half the defense for West Catholic dragged him down.
That's what you want to see from any defensive unit. Swarm to the ball. The play is not over until the whistle blows.
Despite it all, a loss of a yard for Paramus Catholic on the play. Strong, swarming defense from West Catholic, resulting in that loss. Now inside 2 minutes remaining in the first half. It's an 8-0 lead for Paramus Catholic. If you blinked, you missed a 71-yard touchdown run from Tyshawn Brinson, accounting for the lone score in the game. Brinson then converted on a 2-point conversion. Noel. Handoff goes nowhere. Again, strong defensive play from West Catholic, and they'll take a timeout. Damon Studstill, a senior defensive end, coming up and making the stop there. 1:34 left to go. A 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, somewhere in between those two, for Paramus Catholic.
We don't like to get too specific here.
Well, you know, we don't have those nifty yellow and green lines on the field, so we just try to approximate.
No, honestly, earlier on, I think it's either lines
Yeah.
for either lacrosse or soccer that are also on the field. There's a blue line right there that threw me off for a second.
Yeah.
I'm used to watching football on TV.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is
yeah.
not a first down marker nor a line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they might not show up as well on the camera, but yeah, there's several sets of lines down in the field. There's white lines, yellow lines, there's a red line, there's a blue line.
Yep.
You get your soccer lines, your lacrosse lines, your field hockey lines.
Oh, field hockey, didn't even think about that. And, of course, white being football lines.
Yes, well, that's the main bulk of the
Seeing
lines
as the
here on the field,
goalposts
yes.
are not easily movable, to my knowledge, and the other sports have fairly easily movable goals.
Yes. Just looking down towards the left end zone here, you see a soccer goal on wheels, field hockey and lacrosse nets on wheels.
Now, it looks to me, is Mahogany back in at center for Paramus?
I'll let you know in a second. Keep it on
Big
the ground.
run.
Here's Brinson running over a man before he's shouldered down by Troy Athill.
Brinson continuing to show that he is not an easy man to go down. You give him a step and he will take a mile.
And yes, that is Christian Mahogany back in at center.
Good
for
to see him
Paramus
back
Catholic.
on the field. Took him a little while to get up and get going, but all is good now.
First down and 10 for the Paladins. 74 seconds remaining in the first half. Pass to the far side, complete. Ball comes loose, but out of bounds.
It looked like he was able to complete the catch, as we hear so much in our NFL broadcasts, and Andy Ambrose turning out of bounds before it gets popped out and goes out of bounds. He's lucky that that did go out of bounds, but a good catch and turn upfield by Ambrose.
Sticks a little bit slow in getting moving, so they'll get set with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining in the second quarter as Paramus Catholic needs to start picking up some bigger chunks of yardage if they want to put some more points up on the scoreboard before the teams go into the locker rooms. Noel moves a man in motion. Now he takes the snap under a ton of pressure as they set up a screen play. Far side, ball was incomplete, and John Whitehead is losing it over on the far sideline.
John Whitehead absolutely livid. Granted, he was not near the play at the time that the pass was dropped. Probably just grazed the turf there. Not the smartest throw from Noel. Really dangerous. He was turning around as he threw it.
Said the knee was down, so second down and 13. 33 seconds to go. Flag flies as the pass goes complete over to the far side for Paramus Catholic. But again, a penalty flag is down with 29.6 seconds
They
to
didn't
go.
immediately blow the whistle. It looked like it would be an offsides free play for Paramus Catholic. But now, based on where the refs are meeting, could be moving the Paladins back.
Seems to be what West Catholic is indicating.
Oh, late whistle. Don't know why they didn't blow their whistle right away. Must have been an illegal formation instead of a false start on the Paladins, and the Burrs back them up again.
Illegal formation against Paramus Catholic. 29.6 seconds to go as the Paladins are moving in the wrong direction. Both of these offenses, not only have they been stuck in neutral at times, they've been flooring it in reverse.
If it wasn't for the touchdown run by Brinson, Paramus Catholic might actually be in negative yardage if you count all the penalties.
Second down and 18 coming up for the Paladins. Looking to pass to the near side. Noel too high and incomplete, intended for Javon Thomas.
If you're
First time
Paramus
we've said his
Catholic, you
name.
definitely do want to get one more score before the half ends. go up with a massive 2-score lead in what has been a very tight game so far. But with 24.8 seconds to play, I'd expect them to just run the ball. If they break a run, great. If not, just get into the half with the lead. Don't risk another turnover.
They'll keep it on the ground. On 3rd and long. Gain of a yard on the tilt that time for Tyshawn Brinson. 20.5 seconds remaining as we have a timeout taken for what'll be a 4th and long for Paramus Catholic. And I mean, look, if you're gonna do something here, you punt it away, you let West Catholic run 1 or 2 plays, and you get into the locker room up 8-0 if you're Paramus Catholic. Because you certainly don't want to turn it over on downs and give West Catholic this kind of field position.
With 20.5 seconds left, I wonder, they are going to go for a regular punt. I was wondering if they might just have Noel run around a bit before heaving it down the field, try and kill as much time as possible.
Well, with the ball at the 29.
Too risky.
Yeah, you don't. I don't know if you necessarily trust Noel to kill 20 seconds worth
bad
of time.
Snap.
Jared George's punt is a line drive that's right at Jasir Savoy. Takes it at the 34. Across the 40, breaks a tackle down to the 45. Ball comes loose. There's a penalty flag down as there's a couple of Paramus Catholic players down. One has a helmet off on the field.
And Savoy very slow getting up as well. He took a couple good shots, one to the leg and then one to his side before he went down.
So players for both teams are down in the play. There are 2 penalty flags, both in the same area of each other in the middle of the field.
I'm going to guess there's going to be at least one block in the back that might have resulted in whichever Paramus Catholic player is down on the field right now, getting looked at by the trainers. There was at least one other Paramus Catholic player that was slow to get up. Jasir Savoy for West Catholic also slow to get up. Now they're taking a look at a Paramus Catholic player on the field.
There's 8.2 seconds left in the second quarter. Paramus Catholic leads at 8-0, 71-yard touchdown rush. Tyshawn Brinson was over 100 yards on the ground so far today.
Personal foul on West Catholic.
Personal foul is the penalty against West Catholic. That'll back them up even further. Would add the ball right around the 45-yard line. With the penalty, they'll be back closer to the 30 and have 8 seconds to go 70 yards. So basically needing to heave-ho one down the field. Again, players still down for Paramus Catholic, and you just hope everything's okay. We'll take a step aside here on an injury timeout with, again, under 10 seconds left before halftime on SFBN. Back at Cardinal O'Hara High School, Joe Vasile here alongside Moshe Kravitz on this Friday. That's what day of the week it is, not Saturday. Friday afternoon, early
I do believe
evening.
It might have been either Christian Mahogany or Jose Diaz that was down on the turf at the end of that punt.
8 seconds remaining. They run a sweep. It's snuffed out rather quickly by Paramus Catholic.
Aaron Jenkins on the carry.
Aaron Jenkins on the carry.
That's the end of the half.
That'll bring us to the end of the first half. It's Paramus Catholic 8 and West Catholic nothing. As we've reached the halfway point here today in a wet, sloppy contest between these two teams. Take a step aside here on SFBN and come back to the second half right after this.
Hi, I'm Marty Bison, former pitcher for
My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Bluestein, Michael and Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Bluestein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Bluestein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Back at Cardinal O'Hara High School in Springfield, Pennsylvania, an 8-0 lead for the Paramus Catholic Paladins over the West Catholic Burrs. It'll be West Catholic with the ball first here in half number 2, as it was a punt contest in half number 1. West Catholic punted 4 times. They turned it over on downs once. Paramus Catholic, they punted 4 times, threw an interception, and got the lone score of the game, a 71-yard touchdown run from Tyshawn Brinson, who capped it off by converting on a 2-point conversion. So now Paramus Catholic will kick it away. West Catholic will have it back, needing to get something going on offense.
And in a punt contest, there's ordinarily no winners. Right now, Paramus Catholic, though, is in the lead 8-0, despite the fact that Noel has not really been that great of a quarterback. He's had that 1 interception. He's made some very bad decisions. And for West Catholic, it's all about Jasir Savoy, and if he can take one in for them on the ground.
This is Savoy. Tiptoe on the sideline. There goes Jasir Savoy. Touchdown! West Catholic, Jasir Savoy, 90 yards on the return.
That was eerily similar to the run, despite it being on a running bay, but to the run by Brinson, breaking a tackle on the sideline, laying some hurt on, and then just streaking down the rest of the way. No one was catching him. I'd just like to say I completely called that.
A kickoff return for a touchdown for Jasir Savoy.
Now I expect them to go for 2 to keep this game tied up, and also considering we know for a fact that West Catholic is not too keen on field goals and extra points, given some issues in the snap and hold.
Missed an extra point last week, so then on their second touchdown they had to go for a 2-point conversion to get to 14 points. They'll go for 2 here.
And ended up losing 15-14 on that.
Mm-hmm. Under center, Zaire Hawkins. They pitch. It's a halfback pass back to Hawkins, and it's intercepted. Here comes Paramus Catholic. They'll blow the play dead as they intercept the 2-point conversion. 8-6, the score.
Gotta love the non-professional rules of the play is called dead and you can't run back the conversion attempt. Man, that was about to be an exciting play. That was still a very, very interesting and potentially really good play call there by West Catholic. Booker, who had the chance for the halfback pass, did not see the safety shade over, and it was easily picked off. But a very bold play call. I was about to say, you think they're going to go Philly?
No.
No? You don't think one of these teams is the Philly special in their playbooks now?
Probably not. I mean,
hey, it works in the Super Bowl. You think it can work early season in interstate play?
That would be a very bold move there, Moshe.
Hey, that was a bold play call there with the
It
halfback
was.
pass, asking Zahir Booker, the running back / linebacker / safety, to throw across his body to the quarterback in double coverage. Not an easy play for anyone to make.
You know, Brian Fluck earlier this week kind of hinted that they had that in their playbook, and I asked him, is that something we could expect to see you pull out this week? And he said, no, probably not. I guess a change of heart in the locker room at halftime. Just trying to keep this Paramus Catholic team. It wasn't a bad idea, just with the way that Paramus Catholic has controlled the line of scrimmage in the first half. Kicking things off, Trey Johnson. It's a short kick. Returned for Paramus Catholic on the far side. Taken down at about the 38-yard line for the Paladins.
It's kind of interesting to see the kicker and punter for Paramus also in the return game. Impacting every aspect of their special teams.
Paramus takes over on the 37-yard
Definitely a different kind of take on a two-way player when you think about it.
Yes, 100%. I mean, he's really is a three-way player, though. I believe he gets a few snaps on defense. He plays tight end. They consider him a very good blocking tight end. He's also their kicker and their punter.
Noel keeps it on the ground on the first play for Paramus Catholic of the second half, and pushed backwards after a short gain was Tyshawn Brinson. 8-6. Paramus Catholic on top. They got a 71-yard touchdown run for Brinson in the first half. West Catholic touchdown on the opening kick return of the second half, taking it to the house. 90 yards to pay dirt. Couldn't convert on the two-point conversion to tie things up, though. Okay, so we're a little late getting back from halftime. Keep it on the ground again on 2nd and long. Finding some room to run. The ball comes free. It's loose and picked up by West Catholic. Tyshawn Brinson had the ball popped out from behind. Or pardon me, not Brinson. It was Jamel Carter getting the carry.
And Carter had daylight, but a fantastic effort by West Catholic to bring him down and pop the ball out in the process. Slick conditions outside. We knew that we were going to have turnovers. West Catholic now with both of the turnovers going in their favor. An interception of Noel earlier on. And now just they hopped right onto that. Great effort by the defense to cover that ball up as soon as it went to the ground.
Back over to the Burrs. We've only had a little bit over a minute gone in the third quarter. West Catholic's already scored and got a turnover. Hart Hawkins airing it out. Incomplete, intended for the receiver running down the sidelines, Carl Smith.
And Carl Smith battling with Lindo there in as he streaked down the sideline. A bit of hand checking, nothing worth calling there, but just out of his reach. Hurt Hawkins with some really good touch on that ball.
2nd down and 10 coming up from the 33-yard line for West Catholic. Zaire Hurt Hawkins, the junior, keeps it on the ground with Zahir Booker. Finds the edge. There goes Booker. Down the sideline, he's got one man to beat. And he's dragged down at the 30-yard line. Zahir Booker with a huge run for West Catholic into Paramus Catholic territory.
And you've been saying it all game, Joe, that West Catholic was getting nothing between the tackles. That's usually where they run Zahir Booker. Paramus Catholic was expecting a run up the middle or a pass there. Instead, they take Zahir Booker off tackle. He stretches it out for a big gain.
They said he stepped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Under center, Hurt Hawkins hands off to Jasir Savoy, and he goes backwards. Loss of 4 on the play. Because again, nothing going inside. But West Catholic, again, just trying to stick to the process and not allow Paramus Catholic to just key on runs to the outside. They got to keep them honest, even if it's not necessarily working.
Exactly, and they're also trying to mix it up a bit more. They put Booker in, they run to the outside. They put Savoy in, they run to the inside. In game prep, you anticipate that Paramus Catholic would have expected the other way around. They see Savoy, they expect to the outside. They see Booker, they expect to the inside.
High snap, pulled down by Hart Hawkins. He fires, complete to Justino Griggs over the middle across the 30-yard line, and Griggs dragged down a couple of yards shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and short for West Catholic.
And great poise there by Hurt Hawkins. Looks like the play is breaking down early. Defenders into the backfield, a high snap. He managed to wrangle in that high snap, steps out of the pocket, and fires a dart to his wide receiver.
3rd down and 4, inside 9.5 to go in the third quarter. Ball on the 27-yard line. Snap, Hawkins to pass, complete to Griggs, and a first down.
Great job by Griggs working back towards his quarterback as Hurt Hawkins felt the pressure coming and got rid of it just in the nick of time. Hurt Hawkins really showing some impressive poise today. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this junior quarterback.
Zaire Hurt Hawkins. Strong game week 1 for West Catholic in the loss to Pottsgrove. Takes the snap, looks to pass to the left side, floats it out for Carl Smith, but the pass incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming for the Burrs. Both teams looking to come across with their first win of the season. This is Paramus Catholic's first game Second for West. Savoy in the backfield with Hurt Hawkins, the quarterback. Two receivers to the tight side of the field. Three. As they move a man in motion, Julio Da Silva. They give it to Savoy on the sweep. Da Silva, the lead blocker, but nowhere to go as that time Paramus Catholic. Good containment around the outside to snuff out the stretch run.
Yeah, fantastic pursuit by the entire Paramus Catholic defense. Savoy just kept pushing it further outside, hoping to gain an edge, but he didn't have any blockers out there helping him, and eventually he's brought down for a loss. The strength of this Paramus Catholic defense is up the middle, but they've shown that they can make the adjustment and defend outside when they need to. Can they do it consistently?
3rd and 14. Pitch play to the right. Savoy looking for an edge. Finds it. Cuts up the field. Gets across the 20-yard line, but is going to be stopped about 5 yards shy of a first down.
Savoy breaking some good tackles there, and also that time had blockers out in front of him.
4 down territory for West Catholic. 4th down.
7.
7 yards to go. Ball just outside the 20. Hurt Hawkins takes the snap, rolls out to the left, fires a pass beyond the sticks, and it's hauled in by Julio Da Silva. He juggled it and was able to receive it as he fell down to the ground. A first down for West Catholic on a 4th down conversion.
And some great timing there from Hawkins and Da Silva on that pass. Silva, the ball was right there ready for him as soon as he came out of his break. You might have even lost track of him for a second behind a defender. It looked like there was no one in the area. Da Silva comes out of his break. The ball is right on him. Bobbles it for a second and hauls it in. Hurt Hawkins, though, putting it right where his wide receiver needed it.
They're going to take a measurement here as this one is real close. I thought originally that he got it, but they're going to check and make sure. Can just barely see. Now can't see through the massive players huddling around, and yep, by the length of the football, the first down for West Catholic. Heck of a 4th down conversion by Julio Da Silva. A 2-point lead for Paramus Catholic. If you have 8 and 6 in your boxes, you're looking good right now. Pitch to Zahir Booker, left side. Pickup of a couple.
Booker on the carry.
Right down to about, well, it looks like the 11-yard line or so. Pickup of 3.
Gain of 3.
And West Catholic continuing to have a bit of trouble establishing blockers out on that left flank, the far side of the field for us. Having a bit more success on those stretch plays to the right side.
So Hart Hawkins back into the shotgun. He's got Jasir Savoy back with him this time. Extra tight end of the formation. Savoy moves in motion. They give to him between the tackles. Finally, some room to run there. Savoy breaks through. Touchdown, West Catholic. Another one for Jasir Savoy. First rushing touchdown for him today. He's got the return touchdown, and West Catholic takes the lead.
And that is huge for West Catholic. Expect them to go for 2 here again, but that finally puts them on top after a scoreless first half. Savoy broke through between 2 fantastic blocks from his offensive line, creating a bit of a wedge for him to break through and get into the end zone. Really fantastic running and run blocking for West Catholic.
They bring in Booker and Savoy. I formation on the 2-point conversion. They keep it on the ground. And
12 men on the field against West Catholic.
so that'll move things up 5 yards. Still 4th and 9. Still a punt coming for Paramus Catholic. Jasir Savoy deep to return for the Burrs. Not a great snap, and the kick is very effective. George, it just keeps rolling. It hits the pylon.
So close.
They mark it out at the 2-yard line. I guess they say it went out of bounds and then came back and hit the pylon. But what a punt by Jared George recovering. It wasn't pretty, but man, oh man, did it work beautifully.
Yeah, he's almost got this half traditional, half rugby style way of punting that resulted in a pretty good directional punt. From our position, we couldn't tell if it really went out at the 2 or if it hit the pylon. When it hit the pylon, it was out of bounds, so I'm not too surprised that it went out of bounds just a bit beforehand.
That's the old coffin corner by Jared George. Now takes his spot at outside linebacker on defense for Paramus Catholic. West Catholic comes out, spreading it out on offense. Direct snap to Savoy. He maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage at the 2. Second down and long for West Catholic. Pinned very, very deep in their own territory. Very advantageous position for PC.
Heard Hawkins in the shotgun.
Takes the snap 4 yards deep in the end zone. Give to Booker. Booker bottled up at the goal line. Did he get out of the end zone? They say he just did. Spot him down forward progress at the 1 as Booker ended up hitting the turf 3 yards deep.
3rd down and 11.
3rd and 11 for West Catholic from the 1-yard line.
I'm not entirely sure that he fully got the ball back across the goal line there. They'll give it. It's not even a full yard. I'd say if anything, they're probably at the half-yard line.
Shotgun. Or rather, from under center, they hand it off. And the pickup by Jasir Savoy out to the 10-yard line. Still going to be shy of a first down.
Looked for a second that the offense might be staying out. We'll send in the punting unit. At least now the punter has room to breathe.
4th down and 2 upcoming from the 10-yard line. Trey Johnson comes into punt away for West Catholic. He'll stand a yard deep in the end zone.
Trey Johnson, the 3-way star for West Catholic.
So here Booker's snap. High kick. Wobbling toward the near sideline. Checks up at the 34. It takes a West Catholic bounce. And lays to rest at the 37. Great field position for Paramus Catholic inside a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Trailing by 6.
1st and 10 for Paramus.
Yeah, Trey Johnson has impacted every facet of the game. He blocks as a tight end. We saw him team up with Zahir Booker for a great stop on a screen pass earlier on, and now, of course, the kicking game.
So Paramus Catholic with its best opportunity really here in the second half. Starting the drive from the West Catholic 37. As they've stopped the Burrs on their last 2 possessions. Noel to pass, incomplete.
Well, pass incomplete.
It looked like it came out of his hand not as well as he wanted to. He had a wide receiver streaking down the sideline and had time to step up into the pocket, but it just kind of fell out of his hand and did not go where he wanted it to.
Yeah, the man he had up the sideline was Andy Ambrios. And Ambrios never turned around. He was expecting him to kind of hook and head toward the sideline, but Ambrios still running a fly route.
It's the kind of play where you'd like to see some communication between Ambrios and Noel. Quarterback to wide receiver. Quarterback going to place that on the back shoulder.
Give to Brinson. Across the 30, Tyshawn Brinson picks up a couple. Bring up 3rd down and looks like about 3.
And I believe we saw that in the first game. Busby and
Brings up a 3rd down and 3.
I'm blanking on his quarterback's name for Seton Hall Prep.
Aiden Gilman.
Gilman and Busby.
Dominic Busby,
Gilman,
the tight end, yep.
Gilman put it on his back shoulder so he could come back to the ball, turn forward, make a good catch, good communication. That's what Noel was looking for there. with Ambrios, but it could not make the connection as the third quarter
That's
comes
the
to
end of
close.
the third quarter.
Paramus Catholic tried to get the play off, just not able to get the offense moving fast enough. We've reached the end of the third quarter. It's a 14-8 lead for West Catholic here on SFBN.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will
Back here at Cardinal O'Hara High School in Springfield, Pennsylvania, the score 14-8. The West Catholic Burrs on top of the Paramus Catholic Paladins. Paramus Catholic faces a 3rd and 3 from the 29-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Noel hands it off up the middle. Brinson fighting for the yardage. And it looks like he got close, but not quite there. 4th down for Paramus Catholic.
Looks like it got about 2, needed 3. Good first effort from Brinson, but his blockers did not give him enough help for that second effort to get across the line to gain.
Brings up a 4th down and 2.
4th down and 2.
We talked a lot about the big offensive line for Paramus Catholic in the first half. They have really been struggling here in that second half, both in the run protection and pass protection.
Dorian Noel gives to Brinson, trying to get to the edge. He's got the edge. Cut back to the middle of the field. Noel, touchdown, Paramus Catholic.
And as long as no ref signal that he stepped out of bounds, that'll count. What a run by Brinson.
Brinson on the carry in for a
Tyshawn Brinson, second of the game.
And you've got the kind of speed and agility that a guy like Tyshawn Brinson has. If you can come even close to getting the edge, turn upfield, there's not many guys at this level that can catch you. Brinson doing a fantastic job, makes a hard cut once he finally gets past the defender, turns upfield, and then that stop and go sends the defender sprawling in front of him and then waltzes into the end zone.
14-14 the score right now is Paramus Catholic lining up to go for a 2-point conversion for the second time today. Noel gives to Brinson, takes it off tackle left. Flag is down on the play. Brinson is in. Penalty flag down in the end zone. We'll see if this goes against Paramus Catholic and it backs him up.
But flag is, I guess, holding.
Well, both teams are coming off the field here.
extra point is good.
And West Catholic started to send their kicking unit out.
16, West Catholic 14.
Apparently that was a yellow glove, not a flag that was down. Or looks like a towel. It was tucked into one of the players' pants that came undone. 2-point conversion successful for Tyshawn Brinson. Second time he's converted on a 2-point conversion. It's now 16-14. Paramus Catholic has the lead back.
And Tyshawn Brinson is really a truly dynamic running back. The patience that he has as a runner when he stretches it out wide, and then the ability to just plant his foot in the ground and turn on a dime, accelerate upfield, gets into the end zone once again, and gives the Paladins a 16-14 lead here in the fourth quarter.
Still 11:07 left to go. A lot of football left in this contest. Josh Zamora, teammates nicknamed him Flacco because apparently he looks like Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco. But he doesn't kick like him. Kicks like Josh Zamora. A short one that's taken off a bounce to about the 30-yard line, and then spilled was Hameen Carroll Shaw.
Carroll Shaw on the return.
Despite all the sloppy play today, you got to give it to both teams. Whoever has the ball in their hands, whenever they've got a chance to get yardage, players on both sides really fight for every single possible inch and yard. Both of these teams really want the win here today, and they're putting everything they have out on this field.
Couple of well-coached teams. Brian Fluck from West Catholic, John Whitehead from Paramus Catholic, both veteran coaches. Not only that, but both teams defensively gang tackle, swarm to the football, and those are the kinds of things that head coaches love to see.
Absolutely. You said it right. The way that these teams play defense is exactly what you want at any level of football. They swarm to the ball, they tackle together, they communicate well, they work really well together. And for Paramus Catholic, that's a good sign as the season gets started.
Hurt Hawkins out of a shotgun, sets up a screen. Jasir Savoy lost his footing but gains it back. And close to a first down at around the 40-yard line off the screen pass on his swing to the left to Jasir Savoy.
And this really has been Savoy versus Brinson, two absolutely dynamic running backs. Both of them getting much more going to the outside than to the inside. But still, Savoy there able to keep his balance and fight through a couple tackles, would-be tackles, for a few extra yards.
Ball spotted on the left hash. Zaire Hurt Hawkins takes the snap. Hands off to Savoy. Takes it off tackle right and has nowhere to go. Wrapped up by a couple of Paramus Catholic defenders.
And I said before, this was especially good to see for Paramus Catholic's defense. The gang tackling, the communication, swarming to the ball. I said it that way because for West Catholic, they don't have as many new players as Paramus does. Paramus with an entirely new defense from last year. West Catholic, this is what they expect. They go out onto the field. They expect to win this season. They want to win. They think that they're the superior team, but Paramus putting up a huge fight as they have the lead.
Direct snap to Savoy. Run that a couple of times as he picks up a few. As Paramus Catholic did a good job of closing out, getting in on the stop for the Paladins.
And Zaire Hurt Hawkins really tried to sell that there as if it was a high snap going long. You saw him jump up into the air, but it was a short, quick snap to Jasir Savoy.
Christian Abraham came up from the defensive backfield to make the tackle. 3rd down and 6. Coming up for West Catholic, ball on their own 45-yard line. They need to get to the Paramus Catholic 49. Hurt over the middle, complete down the near sideline, staying on his feet and dragged down at the 25-yard line. Seth Degree, first down, West Catholic.
And Degree finding a hole in this Paramus Catholic secondary. Zaire Hurt Hawkins recognizes it, hits him right on the numbers. Degree tries to make a move to gain some extra yards as he feels the sideline being closed off to him. Ends up keeping his footing and getting an extra yard or two, but really great play there. Hurt Hawkins to Degree.
First down and 10 for the Burrs from the 24-yard line. Trailing by 2. Shotgun snap. Hand off. Goes to Zahir Booker. Pickup of a couple of down to the 20. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 coming up.
And you're seeing a bit more of both Zahir Booker and Jasir Savoy in the game at the same time. Makes it more difficult for the Paladins to anticipate what sort of a play West Catholic is going to run. The Burrs really mixing it up here on this possession.
Julio Da Silva in the slot. They hand off to Savoy, off tackle to the right. Gain of maybe another yard down to the 19-yard line, but 3rd and 5 coming up for West Catholic.
Despite not getting many yards there by Savoy, you saw it right there, both Savoy and Booker flanking Hurt Hawkins. Both make as if they're going for the ball. Booker makes the tackle on the edge rusher. The handoff goes to Savoy.
Nice part about running a 2-back system where it could be either Savoy or Booker. When you put them both out there, keeps the defense guessing.
Especially when you have two different styles of running between your two backs.
They fake it to Booker, under pressure, firing incomplete. Intended for Carl Smith. as Zaire Hurt Hawkins took a big shot from Christian Mahogany at the end of that play.
And he also had in the short flat, he had Seth Degree running free. Could not get it to either of his potential wide receivers there on the near sideline.
4th down and 5 from the 19-yard line. 4 down territory for West Catholic. 7:41 left to play in the game. Got a tight one. This one should come down to the wire. As far as Brian Fluck is concerned, he's got Paramus Catholic right where he wants him, close in the 4th quarter, trying to put him away. Zaire Hurt Hawkins rolls out, fires deep down the sideline and incomplete. Seth Degree was running in the end zone, but the pass came up a couple of yards shy of his mark.
Yeah,
and a turnover on downs.
That was pretty well shy of where Seth Degree was. Not entirely sure if there was a miscommunication on the route there between Degree and Hurt Hawkins, or just a bad pass from Hurt Hawkins. We've talked earlier on about how slick the ball is. It might not have come out of his hand as cleanly as Hurt Hawkins would have liked.
Second time West Catholic has turned it over on downs today, and since they scored on their first 2 possessions, the kickoff return touchdown by Jasir Savoy, and then the sustained drive ending with an 11-yard touchdown run from Savoy, interception, punt, turnover on downs for the Birds. Fortunately for them, Paramus Catholic has only been able to capitalize with 1 score since then. 27-yard rush from Tyshawn Brinson.
The difference right now is that 2-point conversion.
Throwing it deep down the sideline. Tipped and incomplete.
Despite the drop pass, good job by Noel under pressure, just putting the ball up and allowing his wide receiver to try and make a play on it.
Aaron Jenkins in coverage, breaking it up for West Catholic. 7.5 left to play. Paramus Catholic has a 2-point lead. Faces 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line on their own side of the field. Clock is stopped, but Paramus Catholic wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe either go for a shorter pass or keep it on the ground to get that clock moving. Because with the lead, that's their friend right now. They keep it on the ground, trying to find the edge and not able to find it. Tyshawn Brinson wrapped up and dragged down in the backfield by Zahir Booker.
Great play by Booker. We talked earlier on at the start of the game about how Booker is a between the tackles runner, but he's also a very good linebacker safety hybrid. They trust him in coverage both on tight ends and running backs, and right there diagnoses the play in the backfield and makes a great tackle.
Now inside 7 minutes to go as Dorian Noel runs the play into the huddle for the Paramus Catholic Paladins. Paramus Catholic, first tenure for John Whitehead. They went 21-20, culminating with an 8-3 year in 2006. Trying to get off on a good foot second time around. Here's Brinson again. 1st down, Paladins.
And Shakur Smalls with a great tackle in the open field.
You got a penalty flag down in the vicinity of a hold against Paramus Catholic, so that 1st down run could be coming back here.
That'll probably be what gave Brinson the room to get around that edge. But fantastic job by Shakur Smalls to just hold his ground and make a good open field tackle to bring down the running back.
So 3rd down and long coming up for the Paramus Catholic Paladins. Ball back to the 9-yard line. They need to get it to the 29. So 3rd and 20.
3rd and 20.
Dorian Noel. Back into the shotgun set. He's got Tyshawn Brinson in the backfield with him. Motions the tight end George from the right to the left. Low snap, picks it up, set up a screen, and it's knocked away. Beautiful play made by the defensive lineman Damon Studstill. We've said his name quite a bit today.
By Damon Studstill, brings up a 4th down.
Read the quarterback beautifully, just comes up, makes the big play for West Catholic.
4th down and 20, and George to punt it away for Paramus Catholic near the back of the end zone. It's a good snap, and it's blocked. It's blocked. Safety, and we are tied. Blocked out of the back of the end zone, and it's 16-16.
And that's the difficulty with kicking out of the back of your end zone. It's a shorter snap. It gives the defenders much better chance, much less space that they have to work with to get to the punter. And West Catholic, there were about 3 different players right around the punter there, and they just smack it out of the back of the end zone. Second straight game we've seen with the blocked punt.
Unreal. You don't see a 16-16 score that often. And yet here we are. Now the safety punt coming. And the kick. As Josh Zamora gets the kicking tee down from the 20-yard line. Wow. Deep to return the kick is Jasir Savoy. He's set up all alone back on the 25-yard line for West Catholic. They have tied this game up at 16 all off a safety, off a blocked punt in the end zone. Zamora gets some good leg into it, backpedaling, making the play.
Miscommunication.
And Samin Carroll Shaw backed into Jasir Savoy and took the ball out to the 44-yard line.
Jasir Savoy, if he had been the one to catch that, would have had some momentum built up as he moved forward. Carroll Shaw had no clue where his teammate was, bumps into him, has to stop for a second to realize, oh, what did I just do? Before taking off.
Yeah, typically you don't want to have to be the one backpedaling and making the catch when there's someone who can kind of have that positive momentum like you were just saying with Jasir Savoy, but miscommunication.
And then Carroll Shaw making it a bit worse by hesitating, being like, wait, what just happened? Before he started moving forward.
They give to Aaron Jenkins on first down, a sweep around the outside across midfield and into Paramus Catholic territory. Aaron Jenkins carries for a gain of about 7 yards.
And that's a name that you've been mentioning a lot today. Aaron Jenkins impacting the game in a lot of ways. Coach Brian Flock told us before earlier in the week that you'd see him both on a lot of quick hitting passes and speed sweeps. They've been holding to that, and then you've also been mentioning him a lot on the defensive side. This is a good player that Coach Brian Flock and offensive coordinator Gary Nova can really work with. Oh, sorry, Gary Nova is the offensive coordinator for Paramus Catholic.
Jasir Savoy sent backwards back into West Catholic territory, a loss of 2. Down at the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 5 upcoming for the West Catholic Burrs. Game tied at 16, inside 5 minutes remaining. Clock winds down towards triple zeros. Pass from Hurt Hawkins.
Oh,
incomplete. Nearly picked off.
Nearly intercepted. The route gets jumped there by Jared George. 5'11", 210 linebacker. Reads the quarterback perfectly, but once again, that slick ball slips through his hands. Had a great opportunity to turn this game around.
4th down and 5 for West Catholic, and they will punt.
And as I said earlier, in a punting contest, no one really wins.
4th straight empty possession for West Catholic since the Savoy touchdown rush early on in the 3rd quarter. Sideline warning has been issued against Paramus Catholic. So we'll have to make sure they be careful.
Just a warning.
Just got to make sure that they stay far enough back off the sideline. Don't do it again. High snap, pulled down.
Good punt.
Checks up at the 12, and it rolls Out of bounds at the 1. Oh, my goodness.
Coffin corner. We talked about how you can't predict to where a football is going to bounce, but boy, it sure seemed like West Catholic had that one planned out. Trey Johnson with a fantastic punt. He put that one exactly where he wanted it and got the perfect roll.
Well, we had a pregame prayer. It is West Catholic. Maybe some divine intervention getting that one to check out about as far deep as it possibly could.
But it is also against Paramus Catholic. So
That's
you don't
true.
think
He's
go
picking
both
sides.
ways.
I don't know. Yeah, it's. You bring up a fair point. And we're at Cardinal O'Hara after all. 4:39 left to go here in quarter number 4. Game tied at 16. Paramus Catholic they've got the ball just outside the goal line. I swear, the center, Christian Mahogany, is gripping the ball right on the other side of the goal line. Like on one of the lacrosse lines or something. Handoff on first down to Brinson, gains a couple.
Brinson on the carry.
Gets it out to about the 2-yard line, it looks like, maybe 2.5. Every bit of breathing room is helpful at this end of the field.
Certainly, at this point in the field, advantage West Catholic.
2nd and 8.
So when you're down this far, you never know what can happen. I mean, heck, we just saw it with the blocked punt that led to the safety that tied us up at 16 all.
Yeah,
Blocked
West
right out of the
Catholic
back
has
of the end
got
zone.
to be feeling good right now.
Dorian Noel. Low snap. Loose on the ground. Noel picks it up, and a safety. West Catholic has the ball, but they say that it was Noel had it. A safety. Back-to-back safeties. Are you kidding me?
I don't know if I have ever heard that said in a single football game, and yet those back-to-back safeties have given the West Catholic Burrs the lead. That defense for West Catholic coming up in the biggest of situations. In the first half, we said the defenses of both teams were the most successful, and we continue to have that be the case.
I have never seen safeties on back-to-back possessions before.
Absolutely stunning.
You never know. You never know what you're going to see when you're watching any kind of game. Unreal.
And it's funny how much things can flip from what we saw and what we talked about in the first half to now. We were praising the play of the only 3 returning Paramus Catholic players, Zach Hartman, Christian Mahogany, and Jose Diaz, those huge offensive linemen, along with Devin Willick. And here in the second half, who's winning that battle in the trenches? The front 7 of West Catholic.
Big tip of the hat to Brian Fluck for what he did at halftime to
great second
change
half
up strategy. Kickoff, rolls, out of bounds. And, of course, that's all set up. Both of those safeties are set off by Trey Johnson. Because his punt down inside the 1 set up that second safety. He also had a great punt that set up the first one.
And that was one of our keys to the game at the very start.
Yep.
Field position. The West Catholic has been able in the second half to control the field position. Punts and these short kickoffs after safeties have really kept things in the game.
It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. 18-16 with 3:55 remaining here in the 4th, as Paramus Catholic and West Catholic will take it as, again, after the safety, the kick coming, Paramus Catholic has to give it back over to the West Catholic Burrs, who now have the lead, and they have 4 minutes of time here on the clock to work with. Now, because that kick rolled out of bounds, the penalty assessed, but the kick was made from the 25-yard line. And very advantageous field position for West Catholic. First down and 10 for the Burrs. Officials trying to figure out where to spot the ball. Sources say at the 45-yard line is where the ball should be. Officials still talking things over. Now heading over to the Paramus Catholic sideline, talking with John Whitehead. Not a good lip reader, and certainly not a good lip reader from this distance.
Neither am I, I'm sorry to say. It's an acquired skill that I do not possess.
It's raining. Everyone is wet.
Everyone is cold also probably out there. We're perfectly fine in here.
It's toasty in the press box, but I think on the Paramus Catholic sidelines, everyone getting a little ornery as well. They're going to move the ball up to the 40. Huh. So first down and 10 from the 40 for West Catholic.
Not the 45. Huh.
Huh.
I think we can safely say this is one of the strangest games we've ever seen.
Still got 3:55 left to go. It's not over yet.
It could get stranger.
Zaire Hurd-Hawkins from under center. Keep it on the ground. Jasir Savoy runs through a first tackler. And on a second effort, gets taken down after a gain of 2.
Gain of 2 yards. Second down and 8.
Clock runs. Best thing that can happen for West Catholic as they have the lead.
And this is when it pays to have two dynamic running backs in Jasir Savoy and Zahir Booker. And you could even give the ball to Aaron Jenkins on one of those jet sweeps. Run the clock out.
Keep it on the ground for Jenkins. Around the edge, Aaron Jenkins forced out of bounds inside the 20.
It helped when you have 3 different players to hand the ball off to, and you've got a small lead with time running down in the fourth quarter. You're in a good position.
Jenkins originally stepped out of bounds at the 22. First down for West Catholic. 3:08 to play. Clock is stopped. 18-16. Burrs on top of the Paladins. Good support here on a neutral site for both teams. Part of the Philly North Jersey Challenge. Going down here this weekend.
Lots of games on SFBN. Be sure to tune in. Oh, great job by Zaire Hurd-Hawkins drawing the Paramus defense off sides. Some neutral zone infraction action as they inch closer.
First and 5 from the 17. West Catholic has had 4 straight empty possessions. Interception, punt, turnover on downs, punt, but 2 safeties in a row have given them the lead.
4 empty possessions, yet 4 points.
Savoy takes it around the edge, picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd and 2. It's not often that you score 4 points in a quarter in football.
That
but
is very, very true.
West Catholic is working on that.
And let alone does that happen
2nd and 2 from the
when it's-
14.
and have the score be 18-16. Just in general, these are all odd numbers we're talking about here today.
Inside 2.5 minutes left to go. West Catholic, again, just running up as much time as they can. Off the option. Hurd-Hawkins keeps it for a first down. Official signal given as Hurd-Hawkins pulled it out of the belly of Jasir Savoy and picks up a first down. Timeout taken by Paramus Catholic with 2:11 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
And you've got to be really impressed, not just with Zaire Hurd-Hawkins' poise in the passing game, but just in general, the way that he has led this West Catholic offense in what has been an overall ugly day offensively for both teams. He's making good decisions at the line. He's making good decisions with the zone reads. He's been pretty accurate with his ball placement. Zierherd Hawkins, as a junior, is looking like a guy that will go on to have a good season and then come back next year and really lead this West Catholic team, potentially to a state title if they don't get there this year. And on the flip side, Dorian Noel he's shown that he can be a good passer in the pocket, but has not really impressed me as a whole, as a quarterback and as a leader for that Paramus Catholic offense.
First down and 10 from the 11 for West Catholic. Zierherd Hawkins has both Booker and Savoy in the backfield with him. It's Booker on his right, Savoy on his left. This is Booker. Inside the 10.
And a score here for West Catholic would probably be the nail in the coffin.
Penalty flag is down, about a yard downfield. 2:04 left to go. And a chop block going to get called against West Catholic. That's a big penalty. It'll back the Burrs up. And quite frankly, maybe not the worst thing. It'll force them to take a little more time off the clock with 2:04 left to go. But it does breathe some life into Paramus Catholic for the time being.
Chop block on West Catholic, 15-yard penalty.
First down and 25 coming up. Ball spotted all the way back at the 26. 18-16. West Catholic on top. And a doozy of a second half.
I've got to imagine that the offensive/defensive line for Paramus is getting tired.
Savoy up the middle. Pickup of 6 inside the 20.
Savoy on the carry.
Despite the fact they clearly have great conditioning since they are able to play both sides of the line. But when you've got multiple guys playing both on your offensive and defensive line in a long, slug-it-out kind of game like this, they're going to get tired, especially when your team keeps running the ball, so you've got a lot of work to do. The other team keeps running the ball, so you're working hard in the trenches no matter what. You got to imagine that guys like Mahogany and Willock and Diaz are just getting tired.
Minute 33 left as Paramus Catholic spends another timeout. Just one timeout remaining. Second down and 17 for West Catholic. One timeout left. They would need a first down or a score to be able to run the clock. Although I guess they score.
If they
does
score, it's all over for Paramus. Paladins under 2 minutes to potentially down by as many as 10, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the caveat. If they do score, they got to stop the 2-point conversion. There's a fumble. Ball is loose. Who has it? Paramus Catholic says they do.
Fumble on the play.
Paramus Catholic. Still waiting for the ref signal, but boy, the players say they have it.
A minute 27 remaining and a fumble. Gives the ball back to Paramus Catholic.
That is the
Oh my.
fifth straight possession for West Catholic that they have come away with absolutely nothing.
Jasir Savoy has scored both touchdowns for West Catholic. A kickoff return. An 11-yard rush. And now the fumble that gives it back to Paramus Catholic, who has one timeout remaining. And they have to go 75 yards in 87 seconds. Trailing by 2 here in the fourth quarter.
And this West Catholic crowd trying to cheer on their defense, coming up with another big stop here if they want to hold on to this slim lead.
Man in motion. They give it to him. Brooks stays in bounds but picks up a couple of yards for Paramus Catholic.
Well, that is not at all the play call I would have gone with inside of 2 minutes with only one timeout remaining. You got to go quick slants to the outside, comeback routes, just get out of bounds and get the ball out of your hands quickly.
Pass to the outside, incomplete. Intended for Andy Ambrios.
Nothing wrong with that, still stops the clock.
3rd down and 7. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. They need to get to the 35. Obviously 2-down territory for Paramus Catholic. You don't necessarily have to pick up the first down, but boy, it sure would be nice for them.
You've got to get some big chunks of yardage quickly here. Minute and 1 second to go.
Ambrios, the lone receiver, to the bottom of your screen. Noel to pass. Left side pass is incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
And Ambrios had some space to work with to that far sideline. He was in single coverage. But as I said, I'm not seeing much from Dorian Noel that shows me that he is reading this defense well, going through his progressions, and really in control of this Paladin offense.
56.3 seconds remaining. Paramus Catholic facing a 4th down and 7 from just outside the 29-yard line. This is the ball game right here. West Catholic comes up with a stop. They can knee out the clock. Paramus Catholic has just one timeout.
Brinson or Ambrios.
George in motion. Noel under pressure. They set up the screen. Brinson. He's short. Fumbles the ball forward. It's picked up by Paramus Catholic, but you can't do that. He's down. A turnover on downs for the Paladins. West Catholic takes it back and a win.
And with that turnover on downs, I think it seems safe to say 49.5 seconds to play. We can look back not that long ago and give you our All-American Sporting Goods, sorry, not All-American Sporting Goods, our Stoll Agency play of the game. And it's actually a combination of 2 plays, the 2 safeties that the West Catholic defense and special teams scored. The punt blocked out of the back of the end zone for the safety that tied it up at 16 for West Catholic. And then the safety sack that gave them the 2-point lead, which they still hold 18-16. And that's tonight's Stoll Agency play of the game. Stoll Bonds and Insurance specializes in the construction business industry. For all your bonding and construction insurance needs, please go to www.stollagency.com. And those were 2 key plays, both so important that you can't just pick one for our play of the game. So those are our 2 Stoll Agency plays of the game.
Down 16-14 at the time. West Catholic tied it up with the first safety. Took the lead with the second as the offense is stalled out, but it is not going to matter. 49.5 seconds left out of the West Catholic timeout and into the victory formation. Go the Birds. Quick knee. Taken by the quarterback, Zaire Hart-Hawkins.
And a
Paramus
quick
Catholic
timeout.
uses the timeout.
Yep. 45 seconds to play. And while it was far from the prettiest victory, Coach Brian Flock has to be proud of this West Catholic team. After a heartbreaking loss to start the season, they come back and they continue to fight till the final whistle. Granted, that whistle hasn't happened yet, but they fought through this entire game, fought back, got the lead after going an entire half without scoring, 5 straight offensive possessions without scoring, and still managed to eke out the win here in the 4th quarter. This is a good momentum shift, gain your confidence back kind of win for the West Catholic Birds.
Yeah, they lost to right at the buzzer last week, 15-14. Gave up 15 points in the 4th quarter, and today turning the heartbreak around on Paramus Catholic. It's going to fall to 0-1 on the season in 45.4 seconds worth of football plays. Into the victory formation again. Paramus Catholic blasts through it.
Somebody on Paramus is quite frustrated with this loss. Paramus. Looks like potentially some jawing between some of the coaching staff on each sideline. Now, I'd say that for Paramus Catholic, for the most part, there's a lot of positives to take away from this. Your defense, for the most part, was fantastic. Your offensive line was pretty strong. Wide receivers made some good catches. I am concerned about Dorian Noel at quarterback going forward for the Paladins.
It's official. West Catholic knocks off Paramus Catholic 18-16 here today. 2 safeties in the fourth quarter, springing them free to a 2-point victory of the most improbable fashion.
And after
with the win,
a loss of the most improbable fashion last week, it's a nice win to get.
West Catholic improves to 1-1 on the season. Paramus Catholic falls to 0-1 on the year. And in the 2 games that we have here today in the Philly North Jersey Challenge, Philly won them both as Archbishop Carroll defeated Seton Hall Prep earlier today here at Cardinal O'Hara. West Catholic now knocking off Paramus Catholic. And tomorrow, it'll be Cardinal O'Hara taking on Hudson Catholic. Right here, we'll have that for you on the Sports Fan Base Network as well. Moshe, any final thoughts here from game number 2 today?
I'd say if West Catholic can get this offensive rhythm going, which you saw a bit more in the fourth quarter, and really be able to punch it in once they do get in close, then I think Coach Brian Flock is right. They have a chance to really contend in the Catholic League and potentially play for a state title.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy route. Catholic League looking pretty darn good here through the first couple of weeks. And, of course, as Fluck said as well, they do have to go through the buzzsaw that is Jim Roth and the Southern Columbia Tigers, but they're off to a good start here this year, knocking off a very tough team that plays in one of the best leagues in the entire nation in Paramus Catholic. And so for everyone here at SFBN, I'd like to thank Cardinal O'Hara for being a great host here today. My partner, Moshe Kravitz. My name's Joe Vasile. See you next time here on SFBN.